Adulthood is a journey, and the nationally recognized podcast Gettin Grown explores the everyday challenges and lessons of adult life with humor, honesty, and community conversation. ABC 24's Alicia Renea sat down with both co-hosts, highlighting why they chose Memphis as a stop on their national tour, as well as their commitment to service and how they hope to inspire listeners to embrace growth even in difficult times.
Hello everyone, I'm Alicia Renea with ABC 24 and we are here at Crosstown Arts with Chef Jade and Dr. Kia. We practiced that before we came on, but they were here for an amazing podcast called Gettin Grown. So can you tell me a little bit about this podcast and the importance of it?
Sure. Gettin Grown podcast started, I think, in 2017. So we're about 8 years old. And we're on Loudspeakers Network. And our podcast is about, we call it the ghettos of adulthood. So we talk about all of the transitions and developmental stages and phases of really becoming an adult. Like we age chronologically, just by virtue of living, you get older. But the business of adulting is not something that we talk about with a lot of intention. So on Gettin Grown, we sit around the kitchen table, or in this case, the coffee table, and have real live adulting conversations that help one another navigate adulthood in community.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about, I guess, why you think it's important, especially in this generation, to know a little bit about getting grown and how they should navigate it.
I think because, I'm so sorry, yes, they said, Diana Ross said you don't give up your microphone. I think community is not emphasized as much with this generation, and it's not by their fault, it's by design. Everything is designed to be isolated, and so I think that's why community conversation is so important and why we put such an emphasis on it, because it's the only way that we're going to continue to sustain ourselves and each other.
So with community, we know that Memphis is known for a lot of negative, narrative. So why did you choose Memphis to bring your podcast to give it a little bit more, I guess, of a positive spunk?
For sure. I would say that, Memphis is rich in culture, and for a lot of reasons. And so we know that there's a lot of tropes that would cast Memphis in this negative light. But we know the truth. And we know that there's this rich cultural hub. And we wanted to just be a part of that. And the city has shown us so much love. And the reality is, we're better together. Yeah. And so, all walks of life, all types of people, all backgrounds, we come together and talk about adulting because there's a lot more that we have in common than we have differences, and difference is what makes us dynamic. So Memphis is a place where there's a lot of that anyway, so we just wanted to be down.
And if I may,
Go ahead, Chef.
I've been here for the past couple of days, and I don't have anything but positive experiences. Like Memphis has been one of the warmest places that I have visited, and every single element that I've been in. And so there could be a narrative out there, but that has been my personal experience. And we chose Memphis because it was such a hub, like Kia said, and that's been evident in the audience. It's been evident in the support and the community that we've gotten since we've been here.
I love that because I'm born and raised from here, so that just kind of makes me feel like we have something more to offer than what the narratives, say and show. So tell us a little bit about what you all are planning to do in other communities for service and I guess the future of the podcast.
Well, we're going to continue meeting in spaces like this, right? And so our podcast comes out once a week because, adulting doesn't stop. There's a lot that you have to learn, and every age brings a different season, and every season have different responsibilities. I'm an educator by training, and Jade as a chef, we come together and we curate experiences and make people feel at home because, home is where, learning originates. So our work in Gettin Grown is about creating spaces where we learn and grow together. And so, after this, we're headed to Chicago for a show up there, and we're hoping to do some more cities in the fall in addition to our week-to-week programming.
Okay.
Yeah. And we also do a lot of volunteer work. Like Kia says, she's an educator by design, and so she has resources that our young people need, especially when it comes to applying for higher education and navigating that world, which is not necessarily something that we've had before. And then I do a lot of volunteering within like the juvenile detention system. And so these are the ways that we can pour into our community in different aspects. And I love that the podcast allows us to get that reach to get those opportunities to be able to do that.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up with this last question that I have. What encouraging words would you give to the Memphis community or people who don't really know much about your podcast, about getting grown, moving forward, and staying positive?
Yeah. So life is hard, and especially now we're negotiating times that feel unprecedented. But the good news is that we were cultivated in soil that, you know, has been here before. And so how to make it through together is sort of in us, and we know how to do it. And so we're hoping that we can continue to come together in community. I think the narratives would have us to isolate and, you know, pick each other apart based on those differences, but the real strength is in our unity, and you're not going through it by yourself. But the good news is if we come together, we can make it through. So that's the kind of space that we love to cultivate every week on Getting Grown.
Yeah, Glow. Yeah, that's what I got. Yeah,
Okay.
Glow, that's
What she
my last
said,
word.
yeah. Okay, so you've heard it here at Crosstown Arts. How can people find your podcast and listen outside of here?
You can find us anywhere at Gettin Grown Podcast. You can find myself at Jade of All Jades. You can find Kia at Takia Robinson. Takia Nicole Robinson on all social media platforms. But you can find us at Gettin Grown across the board, yeah.
All right. Well, we're all getting grown at some point of our lives, and I do appreciate you all for allowing me into your personal space.
You're welcome for having us.
Absolutely. At Crosstown, I'm Alicia Renea.